on this week's episode of The Engaging Marketeer, I want to talk about how businesses usually do digital marketing and it absolutely fails. It just doesn't work. You don't get any results. I did a talk recently at a networking group where I mentioned how businesses try things like SEO, or they try email marketing or organic social media, Facebook ads, Google ads, whatever it may be, to send traffic to a website. And they get traffic to the website. That usually happens. But they don't get any sales. They don't get any leads because, funnily enough, the website isn't converting. People don't want to inquire with them. People don't want to buy from them. People don't want to phone them. They don't want to email them, whatever they're looking to do. And that's fundamentally because most websites don't convert. Because back when I started in the industry in the 90s, it was very, very easy. It was really easy. I had a very easy time of it. So there weren't that many websites out there. I mean, we're talking, in the millions rather than what we've got now, which is in the trillions. And if you were a particular niche business, like let's say, for example, you were a joiner or a woodworker of some kind, and you had a website, you really stood out against your competition because nobody else in your industry, in your area, would have had a website at that time. So anybody looking online for something that you do, they'll find you, and you're the only bloody choice that they've got, so they inquire with you. Absolute piece of piss. But these days, if you're looking for a particular business online, let's say it's like an accountant or a financial advisor, there are millions of them, hundreds of millions of them. So what makes somebody want to inquire with you as opposed to somebody else? It's got to be something really, really compelling. And by and large, your website isn't really, really compelling. I'm not trying to insult you here. I don't know you. Maybe I do know you. I don't know. Perhaps I do know you. But by and large, most websites don't convert in this way. Because when people come onto a website now, they don't want to phone you up. They don't want to speak to you. They absolutely don't want you to phone them up because they don't want you selling to them. They just want what's in your head. They want the knowledge you've got in your skull right now. Because what's in your head, your expertise, your genius, your experience, your understanding of how to do the things that they can't do will solve their problems for them. And they want their problems solved. But they don't just want their problems solved, they want their problems solved immediately. They want that dopamine hit that tells them, yes, doing this is going to instantly make everything okay, make everything go away, put the Band-Aid over it, and everything's going to be fine. Spoiler alert, it never is, because they're not going to get that instant gratification of it actually working. They just think they're going to get that. So don't worry. By doing what I'm about to suggest, you're not doing yourself out of business. You're not solving somebody's problem so that they go away and they never end up using you and don't become a client of yours. They will still become a client of yours because they're not actually going to do it themselves. They're not actually going to solve their problem. So what I'm talking about here is something called a lead magnet. Now, if you've never heard the phrase lead magnet, then you've not been listening to this podcast. And if you have used the phrase lead magnet, but you don't have one on your website at the moment, then you've not been paying attention to this podcast. So let me give you some instant examples. Let me give you some examples. We work with a lot of clients for SEO, for marketing. We do email marketing for people, Facebook ads, the usual stuff to get traffic to websites. But the important thing is that the traffic actually converts, because if it doesn't convert, then you're spending money on marketing and you're not really getting any return on investment. And let's face it, return on investment is where it's really at. There's no point paying somebody for SEO or paying somebody for email marketing if you're not getting the business, if you're not getting the money in your bank account. So here's a real example. We worked with, and we still do work with, I'm not going to name them because I want to try and keep things a little bit aloof, but we work with a business that's not too far away from here, which is an entertainment, a what's on in the area business. So they've got a really good domain name. I can't mention it, but it's a fantastic domain name, and it's for a local area to us. And on their website, they get local restaurants and clubs and pubs and bars and tourist attractions paying to advertise on their website to list themselves. So if you go onto Google and you search for things to do in this area, this town, this city, you will find their website, and you will be able to compare all of the different restaurants or the different bars, different clubs, whatever you're looking for. Pick one that you like. You click through to that bar's website, that restaurant's website, and you book an order or pay with them. And that's great. So the restaurants, the attractions, they get the business, they get the bookings, and our client gets paid for them to advertise on them. Everything's cool. Problem is, of course, our client, this business, this listings website for this area, doesn't get any data. So when a customer, when a patron, when a person searches on Google, finds their website, goes through to them, clicks through to one of their advertisers and books with a restaurant, our client doesn't get the data, which is a bit of a bugger because they're not storing any customer data whatsoever. So what they had on their website was what a lot of people have got on theirs, and you may well have this on your website, and that's a box on the website that says, subscribe to our newsletter. Now, I've mentioned this kind of thing on this podcast before. I believe I did a podcast called Nobody Wants Your Crappy Newsletter. And subscribe to our newsletter, which many people have, and that had been on the website for 13 months. So from August 2023 through to September 2024. Actually, I think that's 14 months, isn't it? Because August through to August. Yeah, that's 14 months, actually. 14 months on the website. And in that time, they had 151 people sign up to the newsletter. 151. Now, that might sound like a lot, depending on your business. That might not sound like many at all. In actual fact, that is very, very low, particularly when you consider what a fantastic domain name this client has and the fact that they get thousands and thousands of visitors every single month to the website. They should have a hell of a lot more than that. But they only had 151 people sign up. And this was on the homepage of the website. Not at the top. It was near the bottom, above the footer. But it was still a big piece of real estate on the homepage, and on every page, in fact, saying subscribe to our newsletter. 151 people had done it, which was crap. So what we did as part of our digital marketing strategy is we created a What's On calendar for Christmas. And it involved things like the Christmas light switch on. I've got to be careful I don't mention the actual name of the place now. The Christmas light switch on, and it had the times that the Christmas market opened, the time that the Christmas market shuts, which is really important because I don't know about you. I have many times gone in to explore a Christmas market towards the end of December and find that it's gone. And that's really upsetting because I really like a Christmas market and I've missed it. It had what times the Christmas Makers Market opens, which is a separate thing, and what time's the Christmas Makers Market, easy for me to say, shuts. And it had various different events throughout December related to Christmas. And rather than put this on the website as a calendar page or a list of dates that anybody could access, we created a branded Christmas calendar, a 2-page PDF download. And to get this 2-page PDF download, people had to put in their name and their email address and agree to sign up to the newsletter. Now, this was on the website for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Now, bear in mind, in 14 months, they had 151 people sign up to the newsletter. With this calendar on the website, in the space of 2 weeks, they had almost 600 people sign up to the newsletter to access this calendar. That's 4 times the number they had in the previous 14 months in the space of 2 weeks. That is what a lead magnet is for. It helped them build an absolutely massive database in comparison to what they had previously in the space of 2 weeks. Now, most people would just put this information on the website and think nothing of it. But by doing it as a branded PDF that people could download in exchange for putting in their details and signing up to the newsletter, they had built up a database now of over 750 people. So 600 downloading this calendar, 151 already there. That's 750 people. And since I gave this talk last Thursday, I'm currently doing this one on the Monday, it will have had more again. And as we get closer to Christmas, it will have more again. There'll be well over 1,000 people before Christmas. I expect it could be closer to 2,000. Now, once Christmas is over, we're going to do something similar with a different lead magnet, something interesting that people want. And what the client can do with this data is they now have huge lists of people who are interested in this particular city and what to do in this city and events in this city. They can now do weekly or monthly or periodic newsletters, news shots out to these people, and they can even sell placements within these news shots to their advertisers. So people can pay additional money to go out in the news shots if that's how they want to do it. Or they could just do it as an added bonus for their advertisers. That's data they didn't previously had, and they would never have had if they had just had subscribed to our newsletter, because nobody wants to do that. Now, to give you another example of how this works, I've mentioned quite a few times on this podcast before how I'm a member of something called BNI, Business Network International. You may have heard of it, you may not have. It's a networking group. Some people think it's a cult, and some chapters can be a little bit culty. Don't get me wrong. But ours isn't. Ours is really about helping other business owners within the group to make more money, to get more referrals, to get the leads that they want so that they can grow their business and scale their business. That's what it's all about. Now, I created, when was this? Last year now, something called a visitor inviter guide. So it was a list of all the strategies I use to get people to networking groups, how I invite people to events. And it works outside of BNI as well. If you're in other networking groups, this will work for you. It will give you strategies that you can use to get people into your events. If you run your own events, it also will help you there with how to get people into your events. So there was something like 8 to 10 strategies, I think, in this guide. It was a 61-page, full-color, branded guide on how to do this, including all of the online scripts, the email scripts, the direct message, the DM scripts I use to get people into events. Now, I could have called this Visitor Inviter Guide or BNI Visitor Inviter Guide, but that would have been a bit of a shit title because nobody is really interested in that. It doesn't tell you what you're going to get. Instead, I called it How to Be the Top Visitor Inviter in Your BNI Chapter. That is what somebody wants to be. How to be the top visitor inviter in your BNI chapter. And I placed that on a website called bnieducationslots.com, which I own. And I also promote it on all of the videos that go onto the YouTube channel, BNI Education Slots. Give it a follow on YouTube. It's really cool. And it features all of the talks that are done at particular networking events on how to be better at BNI, how to get more referrals, basically, how to get more business. So they transcend BNI. It is very business focused. And since that guide has been live for people to download, it has had over 1,500 BNI members from around the world download it. 1,500 people have entered their name, their email, and their phone number and downloaded this guide. That has then put them onto an active campaign email database tagged as BNI Visitor Guide. They then go into an automation sequence which follows them up every so often about BNI links, links to the YouTube videos, the YouTube channel, links to connect with me on LinkedIn. And then they get weekly emails with the latest videos that go out as well, sent out every Tuesday morning, 8:30 a.m. GMT. Now, this gets them coming back to the videos, gets more people watching the videos, gets the videos to then scale further and go further, because the more people that view them immediately, the more YouTube pushes them out to others. And of course, we earn revenue on the videos as well, because we get ad revenue based on who watches the videos. The real victory in all of this is that many of these BNI members that have downloaded it have found it massively useful. And they are using it to help grow their chapters, to get more people into their chapters. I've had people contact me on LinkedIn and thank me for this. I've had one-to-one meetings with members from all over the world, from New Zealand, from Australia, from Norway, and a lot, of course, from the United States. People I would never have had a chance to meet if it hadn't been for this. And we've also had clients out of it. We've had people come to us and become clients because they can see we know what we're doing in terms of marketing, in terms of email marketing, in terms of digital marketing, and in terms of getting people to events. So we've had a lot of clients out of it. All of it because of a lead magnet put onto a website, putting what's in my head, the information inside my head, into a branded PDF onto a website that people can download in exchange for their database. This works for any industry. This works for any industry you can think of, and allows you to get leads and data into your database that you can then follow up, either automated with emails, manually with emails, or with phone calls if you take the phone numbers as well. It works to get you data. It works to get you clients. And a really interesting point, and this is something I've been discussing with a couple of clients lately, is that when you have contact forms on a website, you can get a lot of spam. Depending on how strong your spam protection is and how strong your email filtering is, and if it's too strong, you could actually filter out genuine emails, you'll get a lot of spam. You'll get people filling it in who just want to sell to you. You'll get robots filling it in and sending you junk data or sending you links or pitch fests, they're called. This happens through contact forms. Through a lead magnet, it doesn't happen. It never happens. So you are getting genuine people every single time. Every single person is a genuine lead into your database. So why you do not have a lead magnet on your website, if indeed you don't, is an absolute mystery to me. Please, if you take anything away from listening to this podcast, anything away from listening to me drone on, it's that you have to have a lead magnet on your website. It has to be something that your target audience, your target clients are genuinely interested in, and it must promise to solve a problem that they genuinely have, something that they really want to do. And don't worry, they're not going to actually use it to solve that problem. They're still going to come to you for help because they're not going to do it themselves, but it has to promise that. So you can't have a lead magnet that just says accountancy advice for businesses or a guide to the budget 2024. Nobody gives a shit about that. It needs to be something really active that they are going to want to do, such as 10 ways to pay less tax while also staying out of prison. That's the sort of thing that they want. Something that's going to actively tell them why they should be downloading it, what they're going to get out of it, what is the reason for them doing it. That is what's going to make them do it. Don't give it a crap title. Don't give it a crap cover. And don't expect people to download it if it's not interesting. Final point I'm going to make on this, and I'm going to leave you then. The final point is don't worry too much about the content of the lead magnet. I've seen people agonize over writing their lead magnets for weeks or months and putting all their love and pain and sweat and tears into it, then giving it a crappy title and a crappy cover and wondering why nobody wants it. The actual lead magnet itself is genuinely not that important. My visitor inviter guide was brilliant, and it is brilliant. Give it a download, bnieducationslots.com. It is fantastic, but I didn't need to make it fantastic if I didn't want to. You don't have to make your lead magnet the best thing in the world. The cover has to be brilliant, the title has to be brilliant, and the landing page that people are on to download it has to be brilliant. It has to tell them why they want it. It has to give them the benefits of downloading it, what they're going to get after they've downloaded it. It has to have social proof of people who have downloaded it or worked with you in that industry and the results that they've got out of it. It needs to have a list of all the bullet points of the actions they're going to be able to take after downloading it. But once they've got that, the data is in your database. You can then follow them up. So please, get yourself thinking about your lead magnets. If you're not sure about a lead magnet, reach out to us. Have a call with us. It doesn't cost you anything. We'll have a chat to you about lead magnets if you want. That's absolutely fine. We'll give you some free advice. We'll give you some free ideas. We're here to help. Genuinely mean that. Give us a shout out. Go to our website, go to the contact us on the website, fill in the form. We'll have a chat to you about lead magnets. That's absolutely fine. Don't worry about that. But get a lead magnet on your website because it is the most important thing in terms of getting leads, in terms of getting inquiries into your business. Don't be doing SEO or Facebook ads or Google ads or anything like that without a lead magnet because you will be wasting your budget. Please. And I'll catch you on the next podcast.